A lot of people watch videos about veneers, maybe even get a consultation or two, and still hesitate. They know they want a better smile, but something keeps holding them back. And if that's you right now, you're exactly who I made this video for. Because honestly, most people aren't ready the first time they start thinking about veneers. Sometimes not even the second or third time. But there's usually one moment when it clicks, when it goes from just thinking about it to I'm ready. And that's when they know exactly what they're signing up for. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact process I use to create veneers that no one can notice, step by step, so you know what it really takes to get a smile that looks completely natural. But first, let me say something that might sound a little strange coming from a cosmetic dentist. When someone comes into my office in San Antonio and says, I want veneers, my job isn't to agree with them. It's to step back and ask a very important question. Are veneers the right solution here? Because a lot of time, people's smiles don't actually have a veneer problem. Perhaps they have a gum problem, a bite problem, or a wear problem. Sometimes it could also be a simple alignment issue that has nothing to do with the color and shape of the teeth themselves. When you ignore those concerns, essentially, you're asking veneers to do jobs they were never designed to do, like hide uneven gums, or compensate for severe bite issues, or mask crowding and wear problems. Yeah, you can force it, but it will always look forced. And that's when they start to look too bulky or fake. Because let me tell you something, natural looking veneers don't start with the material. They start with an honest evaluation. Sometimes that means periodontal treatment first. Other times, orthodontics. Bottom line is, we need to set the case straight from the get-go. Otherwise, everything will go downhill even before we begin the procedure. Which brings us to this question. Are you a good candidate for veneers? Well, I'd like to help you figure out the answer to that. So if you're interested, you can book a consultation with us in San Antonio. Just click the link in the description below. But in the meantime, let's just assume that you are the perfect candidate. What's next? Now we build a plan. So for this step, I'll need real records, like high quality photos of your teeth, video of how you talk and smile, digital scans of your entire mouth, bite analysis, and even lip movement. I know it's a lot, but they're all important because at this stage, we have to cover all our bases and leave nothing to guesswork. When we do, that's when mistakes are made. That's why data collection is so important. These records will show me things that the naked eye misses. Things like bite dynamics, exact tooth position, symmetries and asymmetries, how the lips move when someone talks and smiles. We simply can't make good decisions without this information. Because now the goal isn't simply about achieving what looks good, but rather what looks natural and functions properly for years to come. And once I've collected those records, I review them carefully. And then I share my findings with the patient. That's when I can give you realistic answers to a lot of your questions, like how long will the procedure take? How much would it cost? What should you expect moving forward? And what will the final results look like? But keep in mind, at this stage, we're just conversing. Nothing's set in stone yet, so you'll have time to make a decision. Because veneers won't work if you're not 100% committed to them. In other words, you have to want it completely. You also have to be able to afford it. And most importantly, you have to be willing to go through all the steps in the process. You must understand this isn't a rush solution. We can't simply go from consultation to veneer application on the same day. There are still several steps we have to go through to achieve your perfect smile. Because while we can discuss what the end result could be, nothing beats seeing it in action. And typically, some practices would settle with a digital smile design, but I don't think they're enough. You can sit at a computer all day, look at designs, imagine things in your head, but what works on screen doesn't always work in the mouth. And what looks perfect on a benchtop doesn't always work on the face. That's why every serious case needs a test drive, because I need to see how the lips react, how speech sounds, how the smile moves when the patient talks, and how the teeth relate to the face, not just with each other. Essentially, at this stage, I want to see how everything comes together in motion, not just at rest. And after a few days, you go back to the practice and we discuss your entire experience. That way we can talk about everything you liked about your veneers, as well as everything you didn't like about them. Because again, this is just a test drive. And sometimes we won't get it perfect the first time. Flaws will reveal themselves at this stage, but that's a good thing. That way, we can make refinements long before anything becomes permanent. Because once you give me the go signal, There will be absolutely no room for guesswork anymore. This is the point where intention turns into action and where things either go in the right direction or the wrong one. Because tooth preparation isn't improv, it's not flexible, and it's definitely not forgiving. So while the job sounds simple in theory, in practice, it requires patience, discipline, and a very steady hand, because even fractions of millimeters matter. For example, if we prep too little, the veneers can look bulky. And if we prep too much, we risk sensitivity or compromised enamel. You see, every move we make now has consequences. And the mistakes we make in this stage, they can't be hidden later. There's no undo button. So if the preparation doesn't follow the plan, the final veneers will never look natural, no matter how good the materials are. I've seen cases where the patient was told, oh, the lab will fix it, or we'll adjust it later. But that's not how this works. Veneers don't correct preparation mistakes. They actually reveal them, which is why this part demands the utmost detail and communication. If there's something specific you want to achieve, like softer edges or less brightness, this is the moment to say it. Not after cementation, not months after either. Remember, safe natural veneers don't come from shortcuts. And I really make it a point to be as comprehensive and extensive with my patients as possible, because I understand that lasting impact. So, if you're interested in getting veneers, you can book a consultation with me through the link in the description below. I'll talk you through every step and answer any questions you have, including this one. Because by now, the plan is complete. We've prepared the teeth to a T, and we're done with the temporaries. Now, it's the lab's turn to transform the vision into reality. We've already given them models, photographs, and detailed instructions. And it's their job to execute the plan, not interpret or improve it, but rather respect it. Sometimes this is hard to ensure because the dentist hasn't had a strong relationship with the lab technician yet. So they aren't always 100% certain that the desired results will be followed. In my case, I've built a 17-year partnership with a top ceramist, and I can trust them with my patients' new smiles. Because of this, I can reassure my patients that their veneers will look natural, fit perfectly, and respect the contours of the teeth, lips, and face. After my years of experience as a dentist in San Antonio, I've come to realize that lab collaboration is more than sending models. It's a partnership. And much like any other relationship out there, there needs to be clear communication, shared vision, and trust between a dentist and the lab. That's what truly makes all the difference. Because without great lab work, we won't be able to reach this next step where everything comes together. It's the cementation. Cementation requires strict attention to detail. Every veneer must be placed, following precise protocols. Like gums and teeth must be protected, and contamination from blood and saliva must be avoided at all costs. Even small mistakes here can compromise the final result. Now, after cementing your veneers onto your natural teeth, I'll ask you to return after a few days for bite checks and final photos. It might be uncomfortable at first, especially since your gums, lips, and tongue need time, sometimes months, to fully adapt to the new teeth. But don't worry, when it's done correctly, your veneers will look and feel completely natural. They'll blend seamlessly, with no signs of dental work whatsoever. Not only that, with proper cementation, we can preserve all the work done before your veneers and ensure that your new teeth will function beautifully for years to come. Do you know what? Up until this point, we've only talked about the technical aspect of getting natural veneers. But behind every procedure, there's one ingredient that elevates your veneers from good to great, and that's mindset. When it comes to dentistry, there are 3 critical facets for success: technical mastery, psychological confidence, and teamwork. Even the best dentist with perfect lab work can fail if they lack the confidence to stick to the plan or communicate honestly with the patient. For instance, a case might need 10 veneers to look natural. If the dentist is hesitant or compromises due to cost or fear, and instead tries to only do 4 veneers, the smile will undoubtedly look unnatural. And no, it's not a flaw of the materials. It's the failure to follow the plan and trust in their skills. So, as a dentist, technical skill alone isn't enough. And success comes from mastering the rules, committing fully to the plan, and building trust and alignment with both the team and the patient. Only then can veneers become truly undetectable. Now, you've just seen the entire process, from evaluation to cementation. But before you book a consultation or commit to anything, there are 5 critical things most people don't know before getting veneers. things that can make or break your experience. And honestly, knowing these could save you from making a decision you'll regret. So watch this next video right here.